Hello, and welcome to another episode of MLV Speaks, where we bring you all things MLV centered around small business ownership, politics, events, and people who uplift and inspire our communities. I've partnered with Terrell Wright of Metroplex Mobile Studio to bring you this inspiring information, and I'm your host, LaRonda Lewis. Today, we're going to be speaking with District County Board Member Shawndell Wilson. Shawndell is a native of Madison, Illinois. She holds an Associate of Applied Science and Business Administration and a Bachelor's of Arts in Theology. She's also a volunteer manager for the Salvation Army of Greater St. Louis. She has 15 years experience in policies and procedures. She serves on the grants, government relations, and sewer committees for District 10. And her motto is Shawndell's faith in God helps her get through her daily life. And her motto is to attract what she expects to be a reflection of what she desires, become what she respects, and mirror what she admires. Welcome to our podcast, Miss County Board Member for District 10, Miss Shawndell Wilson. How are you today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Good.
Good. I am so happy that you've taken this time to meet with us and discuss all of the things that you do for the county of Madison. That is a wonderful thing. So we don't have a lot of time, so I'll get right into it. So if you like, just you can give me a small, a bit about your background and what piqued your interest to getting involved in politics.
Okay. As you said, I am a lifelong native of the Madison Venice area. I am currently a county board member. Um, I'm a mother of three, grandmother of two. Um, and an introduction. I was employed with the Salvation Army for it was a total of 18 years, and I'm currently now employed with the Madison County Housing Authority. I've been in this position for
Okay.
roughly 6 months, and it's been a joy to work, in my community and up close with those that I can identify with. So that's
Exactly.
just a little bit about me. Yeah.
Great, great. Now, as a board member of District 10, what is the focus of being that county board member there?
Um, and I didn't answer your question. You had asked what kind of interested me to get involved in politics. So I was actually approached a couple of years ago by a couple of people, and just they just picked my
Hmm.
brains and just asked me different questions and how I felt about certain things. So it was interesting to me, and I decided to go for it. And as you can see, I did win. I was elected for that position. And it's a great honor to be a representative for District 10.
Hmm.
So, District 10 is, I govern the Madison, Venice, and a portion of the Granite City area. So, my focus, of course, is Madison and Venice, as well as Eagle Park. They play a part in this as well, although they're unincorporated, but they play a part in
Hmm.
this as well. So that's kind of like, my role as a county board member is to represent, our areas or whatever, speak up when I can, and do the different
Hmm.
legwork, that's needed for us to be successful.
Good, good. Now, what are some of the challenges that you've faced so far in this role?
I haven't really faced a lot of challenges at the government level. As a board, we communicate well, we talk well. It functions, in a way where you kind of have to have a good relationship with your other, board members. Everybody was
Hmm.
welcoming when I first came on. Of course, I was new. A lot of them have been in those positions for, years or whatever. So they really
Hmm.
embraced me. A call, they got to know me. So it's been great.
Good. Now, speaking of, you saying that they kind of have welcomed you in, do you guys collaborate periodically on a week to week basis to kind of inform each other on what's going on in the different districts?
We don't meet one on one as far as our different districts go. But if
Mm-hmm.
it is, if something was to come up in one of the different committees that pertain to your area as a courtesy, the board member, that's the chair or a member, will reach out to you and say, hey, this is what's going on in your district. This came across the agenda. How do you feel
Mm-hmm.
about it? We talk about, different pros and cons or whatever, and we weigh it out that way. So no like reports as far as meeting specifically on your area, but the different committees out of respect. If anything comes across the board that's, within what you govern, out of respect, we do communicate with one another before a decision is made.
And so for the District 10 specifically that you focus on, what are the main areas that you focus on?
When you say main areas, meaning as far as what I would like to see, or just kind of like what I'm doing in the position overall?
Doing in the position overall, is it like, do you focus on like the grants, government relations, when I was reading, and also with maybe somewhat with the sewer
Mhm,
district as well?
mhm. So although I serve on those committees, I play a part. We play a part in all of them. So
Okay.
uh, grants in particular, of course, there's a need in our area for them. So
Mm-hmm.
coming in on the grants committee, one of my goals was to kind of track down and see uh, in the past what grants, were out there. Um who did they reach? Was it a response?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of doing my leg work, getting my feet
Mm-hmm.
wet to get an understanding first before assuming. People tell you all different types of things. This is going on, that's going on, but I had to do my own, homework and do a little bit of research. So as far as the grants go, I put in a lot of legwork, just kind of tracking down what went to the city of Venice, what went to the city of Madison, the
Mm-hmm.
township, parks and recreations, different things like that. So if I were to find, well, let me back. I had requested from community development that any grant that
Mm-hmm.
goes out, and the city is notified, could I be copied on it? And of course they did, they complied. So it's always a deadline to it. So I would ensure
Mm-hmm.
that that particular link, email, letter, or whatever got to the appropriate person, in the city. And then hopefully to ensure that they would, respond or reply, and if they didn't, try to track down and find out why not. So that was the biggest thing on grants. Government relations is simply that, it's government, relations. We have different appointed positions that come across the
Mm-hmm.
floor. We vote on those based upon resume, experience, different things like that, and see who would be the best candidate to serve as a representative on that particular board. And as far as like the sewage goes, it's not particularly like the sanitation, the sewage,
Mm-hmm.
like where you pay your sewage bill or whatever, but this is mostly like the underground stuff, ensuring that, our pumps are working properly, lift sites are, kept up to par, different things like that. So those are the different things that I do on those committees. If I have
Okay.
something that comes up for like zoning or something like that, like I said, I'll have a board member to reach out to say, hey, this is what's going on in your area. So that's a little bit about the committees.
Different committees. Now I'm going to back up to like for grants. If if the who decides what grants should be generated or for what areas, and how does that information get to the leaders of the communities as well as the citizens?
Mhm. So a lot of grants are annual. Anything that has something to do with like infrastructure, Juno and Associates, they work with the city of Madison and the
Mm-hmm.
city of Venice, and they help them with those particular grants. Um, you have PEP, which is Recreation. That goes
Mm-hmm.
to the different park districts, and that's like an annual grant. It's so much money that's kind of like allocated for, and pretty much so each district gets a little bit, a portion of it or whatever. And the different communities, we get that funding. some of the block grants that comes out through community development. It's like the GED program. You have the vocational training, summer youth programs, um, economic development. You got home investment, the first time home buyer program.
Okay.
Another popular one is like Light Heat, where you need help with your energy bill. You can go and you can apply for assistance for that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
those are some of the popular grants, weatherization, different things. It's a lot of grants out there for individuals as well as the communities, a community grant.
Now, and is there also a grant for home improvement as well? Like if a person gets some home improvement done, they can get like I guess, a reimbursement, or do they apply to get
Mhm.
the money up front to get the work done?
So there is, but with every grant, it's a procedure and it's a policy that that's in place, and of course you have to apply for it and be within
Mm-hmm.
those qualifications to obtain it. So when I was speaking earlier, when I was saying coming in, I just kind of had to do my own homework, because people were saying like we don't get funding, we don't get, but all of that
Mm-hmm.
stuff is actually generated, down to the different mayor's offices or townships, parks or whatever, and it is their responsibility to respond in order to get that funding.
Okay, so the leaders have to respond to the county
Mhm.
to in order to have those grants given to them, and then it would be the responsibility of the leaders to inform the citizens as well.
So how the grants work, once community development sends, the grant application or usually it's a notification, especially if it's a new grant. They provide
Mm-hmm.
workshops, different training on how, helping them on how to, correctly apply for the grant. So it's sent down from community development, whoever is designated to receive that information. For the city of Venice, it may be the mayor, it may be the comptroller, the city of Madison, it may be the city clerk. For the township,
Mm-hmm.
it could be the township supervisor. So once the notification goes out that, hey, this grant will be coming out, that's a notification that's sent, and then the actual link is sent for you to apply. So you have a certain amount of time to apply, and then it goes back to community development. They review it. It's been a couple instances or whatever where if it's an error or anything like that, you could ask for an extension. They really do work with you, but it is up
Mm-hmm.
to the city to either respond or possibly have a person that is, qualified and educated to correctly apply for the grant so we don't lose the grant.
Understood. Understood. Now let's talk about the government relations. Now you were saying that I was just going to read what I have here. It says, I wanted to know what kind of information would you communicate to the district regarding government relations? And you kind of touched on that. And also regarding government relations, the fact that we have a new re-elected president, so to speak, how does this new president, how would that affect any type of government relations in our communities, or would it?
I don't think on a local level so much it would. From what I'm seeing on a local level, we kind of control that. Um, so, and working with the county, it's 17 um, county board members that are Republican, and it's nine that's Democrat. But to be honest with
Mm-hmm.
you, when we come into a room, it's really not, like a fight, like a Republican Democrat thing. It's a people thing.
Good,
So
good, good.
that's one of the things that I've been, kind of intrigued by is, it's more so of a people thing, because whether you're Democratic or Republicans, we kind of all going through something, and
Mm-hmm.
even with a Republican and Trump coming in and dictating to America, I just honestly don't think that we would be too much, affected
Uh-huh.
by
So
that.
yeah, some of the yeah, any of the policies that they may be generating is maybe not going to affect us on this local level regarding the county members or
Not that I
even the
not
yeah.
that I can foresee. Mm-mm.
Good. All right, so I have a question about sewers, and you said this basically the committee is basically about the underground. Now, if some of the citizens, sometimes we have flooding in the areas.
Hmm.
So if some of the citizens wanted to have that addressed and wonder why, every time we have heavy rains, the streets are getting backed up in a lot of basements, who would they reach out to in order to have that addressed?
It was started at a local level, and we just did a grant for some additional funding for sewages. And they did a test in our area, Granite City, Alton, different areas or whatever. And
Hmm.
Venice actually tested better than some of the other areas as far as underground sewage. Eagle Park just got new underground sewage done. Madison really didn't have a problem. So we've been lucky in our area as far as sewage goes.
Okay, good, good. So now I don't know how long they've had the sewers. I guess in the future, will they kind of periodically check to make sure that the sewer lines are good as well?
They should. It should be routine. That's a part of the special services area. They go out if they do get a call, saying that it's flooding in a certain area, whatever. They are supposed to come out and, investigate to make sure that it's not something, malfunctioning underground, and make sure that everything
Mhm.
is, functioning, and pushing out, appropriately.
And I think I was told, I'm not sure how accurate this is, that the American Water just purchased the sewer district. Is that correct? Do you know of anything about that?
I don't think it was the sewage district, but it was something with Granite City water treatment. It was the water treatment. I think they
The water treat.
took over the
Okay.
water treatment.
The
Hmm.
water treatment. Okay. Okay. You know how, when you hear things in the neighborhood, I was like, I'll just have to find out, from a reliable source.
Hmm. Yeah,
Well,
it was
let's
water
talk a little bit
treatment.
more to the water treatment. Let's talk a little bit more about being a county board member. So you were elected, was it 2022?
Yes,
And how long would it be a term for a county board member?
it's 4 years. So I think
4 years.
2026 I'll be up.
Be up again. And is this
Hmm.
election around? Is it in April as well? Like we have the mayoral elections and all of those, but it just kind of staggers depending on the year that you came in.
Yeah, because I was on the April ballot, but then on November as well, and then I got sworn in December. So
Okay.
I don't know if it's because I was running against someone that I had opposition. The citizens had to vote in April as far as who were going to ballot for November. I'm not 100% sure how that
Mm-hmm.
works, but I kind of that's how it was because of opposition.
Okay. So how have you been enjoying the role so far?
I have. It's been eye opening and it's been intriguing. And I am in the first stages of it. I'm looking forward, to learning more and seeing where I can get more involved. It is very
Mm-hmm.
time consuming. Coming in, I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to, go to a Venice City Council meeting, a Madison City Council meeting, a township meeting, and outside of meeting with my committees every month, plus the board meeting, plus working, it's a lot. So I do a lot of one-on-ones and calls or whatever, and hunt down different information, that I'm looking for. And again, like with the citizens of Eagle Park, I met with them last Thursday to
Mm-hmm.
kind of feel them out, to see if they were interested in becoming a part of Madison. We all know that Cloverleaf, uh, is no
Yeah.
longer unincorporated. They're a part of Madison. So I had some different questions, and concerns. with that. And I had requested to start getting copying on like the different fines and different things like that, because I didn't know that the county, they govern Eagle Park, so to speak. So they will fine some of the citizens for, grass, for, abandoned vehicles and different things like that. So I started asking questions as far as, when they pay the fines, where does that money go? And in my opinion,
Right.
it should go back to, Eagle Park, but that's not necessarily so. And I had other things, like I said, with them becoming a part of Madison, but I had to meet with the citizens to see if that's what they wanted. Because what's important
Mm-hmm.
to me may not be important to them. What's important to them, I may need, more education on. So that was a very good meeting last Thursday, and I'm looking forward to working with them.
Good. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I was going to ask, how involved can citizens be in these committee meetings or all of the efforts that the committee board members are doing?
I encourage any citizen that wants to come to a committee meeting, or if they have an issue or concern or want to, be a public speaker and come and speak to the group as a whole, to please do so. It's important, and it makes a difference. It's an impact. I've sat in a lot of meetings. Each public speaker is only allowed 3 minutes, and it's the max is 20. So it's like an hour of hearing, the citizens' thoughts and concerns, and that's what we want. Again, like I
Mm-hmm.
said, we may assume, that we know, what's best, and this, that, and the other, but ultimately it's up to, the citizens to be heard. So I strongly encourage that, to reach out, to me, of course, on that frontline level, do whatever homework I can do. If I get opposition, then hey, let's bombard the boardroom with 50 people, and make a presence.
A presence. And
Mhm.
where are these meetings held, and when are they held?
They are held the third Wednesday of every month in the county boardroom in Madison County. It's a beautiful boardroom. It's like theater seating, and it's plenty of room. I think up to like 100 people, where they could come, they can sit, have feedback, speak, on different topics or whatever. So it's an open forum, and it's on the third Wednesday of the month in Madison County.
Madison County. Okay,
Hmm.
Shawndell, is there anything else that you would like to add? I know that you also are involved somewhat with FEMA as well. Can you elaborate a
Yeah,
little bit on that?
with the Salvation Army, I had all kind of training classes and disaster and different things like that. I really
Mm-hmm.
enjoyed that portion of it. It's an eye opener to see people, in distress, and you'll be surprised at how people can be mismanaged. So
Mm-hmm.
I really did, enjoy that. And maybe if I have some time to, volunteer, I would like to, continue doing that as well.
Okay, and one other question. Are citizens still able to donate clothes to the Salvation Army? A lot of times, a lot of people go to the Goodwill, but can they, submit clothes, donate clothes to the Salvation Army still? And where would they do that in Madison County?
So it's still a Granite City location. It's called the 360 Center. You can take clothing items there, and then you can also call, depending on what you have to donate, they'll pick up as well.
Okay, and those clothes would be free to for our citizens to have if they can, right? Is that correct?
They resell it in a thrift shop. So it's,
They resell in the
a
thrift
little bit
shop as
like,
well. Okay.
yeah, like the
Probably
Goodwill. Yeah,
less
they resell.
expensive, yeah,
Right,
okay, than
right.
the Goodwill.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, I'm not sure if I want to give to the Goodwill because I like giving clothes away, but I usually go to the Goodwill. But if I can give where people can have them for free or for a small amount of money, I would like to do that. And this may be
Hmm.
a little unrelated, but kind of related to that, but unrelated to your um, member as a board member. Um, if there are there shelters in the Madison County area that people can donate to help some of the citizens as well. Do you know of that?
This
Yeah.
The shelter, the only local shelter that was in our area was in Alton, and that was through the Salvation Army. And since then, that's been demolition, and they are searching for a new location either in the Alton or the Granite City area. That's something that they're going back and forth with now, bringing to the board because some of the citizens in Alton didn't want it to come back, so they were kind of struggling
Mm.
within the area to put the shelter.
Okay. Yeah, because I have a lot to donate. And I just want to be able to donate it, and giving and, take stress off of anybody having to purchase,
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
Shawndell, I thank you so much. Those are all the questions that I have. And I thank you so much for taking the time out to meet with us. If
Thank
there's
you.
anything else you would like to add, feel free before we go. We have a few minutes left.
Okay. I just want to say I appreciate the opportunity. I'm kind of like a behind the scenes type of girl. I've never been like the first one to the
Mm-hmm.
dance floor, the first one at the party. I've never been, the one to be up front. That's never been me. I always kind of like to work behind the scenes, and just work, do my thing. So this has been good for me. And I'm glad that you guys did invite me to do this interview because my family had been getting on me because I would talk to them, and share different things, that's going on. And, they're like, well, you need to, notify the people, the people need to actually know, what's
Mm-hmm.
going on. So this was good. This is I'm an introvert and kind of private. So this has kind of helped me, put me out there maybe for, some other videos and some other ways to communicate with the citizens
Mm-hmm.
as far as, what's going on, and then to try to get, feedback as far as, uh, how we can improve, better with communication and notifying the citizens. That's been one of the challenges is, how do people obtain this information, as opposed to just sending them to the, website. I know the township is there, you have social media. That's been good, but it still seems like it's, something missing. So moving forward,
Mm-hmm.
I currently live in Granite City, but I am looking to move back to the Venice area, hopefully somewhere closer to
Mm-hmm.
my parents. They are getting,
Mm-hmm.
older, needs the, help or
Absolutely.
whatever. I am looking to come back to the area and kind of help out also on a local level. That would be really powerful to have it at a county level as well as a local level, maybe help the
Mm-hmm.
council, along with, being updated and keeping
Mm-hmm.
them informed, with what's going on and just working closer together to move forward to be better.
Good, good. I did want to mention this. It was one of my questions that I overlooked, but I wanted to talk. It was basically about grants. And you know that I know both of us suffered, tragic losses in the
Hmm.
past. With my one being, an accident of kids playing with guns, and then the other with, it was, really just a tragic situation. Has there been any discussions about, having grants for the communities to learn more about gun safety and how to deter any type of gun violence in the community? Has there been a discussion about that, or will there be a discussion about that?
Nothing that I've seen besides, like the parks and recreation grants that can kind of, cater towards the youth and to keep them busy and to, keep them occupied. But one of the things that I would like to see with the, the murder of my son is, you know, it's sad to say, when I would talk to people, I would say it's sad that I'm happy that my son was killed where he was because his murder was solved, and people really don't
Good.
understand the importance of, it's a lot of parents don't have justice for their kids. And
Mm-hmm.
it was confident to me that it happened in Granite City. The major case squad, they were dispersed. They worked hard at it. It was just different. Venice, we don't have that. Madison has major case squad, but Venice doesn't. And from what I
Mm-hmm.
understand, it's something that the city has to pay into. It's like a monthly fee. So if something
Mm-hmm.
were to happen, they come out. I think that that's worth it, especially considering the amount of murders that's been unsolved in our area. And
Mm-hmm.
it's not older people. It's kids. So I think that
Mm-hmm.
that is important. Moving forward. that we kind of focus on, law enforcement and see what's available for us, to kind of tap into that to help, our local police officers with solving different cases. And maybe, that would help, lessen, they figure if they get caught, it's a possibility of getting caught, and you got 26 detectives, with eyes on the case, maybe they'll think twice
Mm-hmm.
before they do something, they'll regret.
Yeah, I understand and I totally agree. And you again have my condolences. And
Mhm.
hopefully in the future with the, new elections coming in 2025 that going forward we may be able to, kind of band together and, you know, make some efforts towards getting a lot of that information out, and resources out that we need. But again, Shawndell, thank you so much for
Thank you.
taking this time to meet with us. And I wish you the best. I wish you more success in your endeavors here as the county board member for District 10. And again, thank you. Feel free to
Thank
reach out to
you.
us at any time. If there's anything else that you may want to share, you can reach out to us and we can definitely, help get it out there. Okay. All
All right. I
right.
appreciate
So
you. You
every
guys.
Thank you. Good. So, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. And we're asking that you give us your feedback. We ask that you not just like it, not just share it, but also make comments so that we know that you are interested in what we're putting out there. And we do appreciate you taking the time out to listen and to watch the information that we put out there. So, again, guys, until we meet again, please spread love, add value to someone's life, and speak life over people. Have a good evening. Thank you. Bye bye.